What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to episode 135 of the People's Questions. Today, I'll be playing some Resident Evil 5 in the final chapter. And before I begin, I really got to thank all of you guys out there, because we got a really great episode with a good number of questions of all different diversities. So, starting off with the first question, coming from Kyrian Bolraj, I hope I said that right. You want to know, do I watch Arrow, and will I be watching the upcoming DC shows? Well, buddy, I am a DC fan, so yes, I've seen the first number of seasons of Arrow, and yes, I do plan on watching Gotham, The Flash, Constantine, all those great shows. That's just how I am. So, to answer your question, yes. Next 5 questions come from the Father Monster Show, and you want to know, what games do I think need sequels but do not have them yet? I'm going to pick out 3. I definitely think there needs to be a sequel to Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, because with how that game ends, it doesn't really tie into Episode 4 very well, but technically they've kind of deemed that uncanon. I'd like to see a Max Payne 4, and I'm pretty sure I'd like to see a sequel to Metal Gear Rising 2. That's what I'd like to see. So, those 3 games. Next question is, have I ever heard of Dragon's Dogma, and if so, what are my thoughts on it? No, I have never heard of it, so I can't really give you my thoughts on it. Next question is, what do I want to see in Mass Effect 4? Well, aside from the fact that we'll be playing as a different character other than Shepard, I'm a little bit disappointed that it supposedly is going to be taking place during the same time frame, which means that the Reapers are going to be the main threat. But one thing that I would really like to do is I'd like to have the ability to actually jump between my party members. So, unlike the first 3 games where if you're playing as Shepard, you can only play as Shepard, I actually would like the choice to be able to switch between different characters. So, like, for example, if we're fighting on a field and let's say we're all separated, I would like the ability to be able to jump and play as the other characters from a different point of view. So I think that would be a really cool feature. Next question is, would I like Shepard's story to continue because you don't, honestly? No. Shepard's story's over. We can move forward and have the story be told from a different person's point of view. The next question is, did I enjoy the James Bond films, and if so, what is my favorite one? Oh, that's an easy one. By far, my favorite James Bond film is the first Bond film I ever saw, and that was GoldenEye. I'm willing to acknowledge that, Casino Royale and Skyfall are definitely better James Bond films as a whole, but in terms of just being my personal favorite, it has to go to GoldenEye. The next question comes from Rob16164, and you want to know, did I like the Raid 2, and am I interested in the upcoming American version? I absolutely loved the Raid 2. In fact, if you guys would like me to do a review on it, please let me know in the comments down below. And in terms of the American version, I don't know why they're doing this. It's completely pointless. I mean, I've heard that Taylor Kitsch is going to be like the main star, and I just cannot see him pulling off some of those fighting moves as well as in the original. So this is just a clear example of Hollywood wanting to cash in on an idea that it has no need to. And I really don't even think that American audiences are going to be interested in the American version, because I don't think I will. The next question comes from a newbie, and I'm sorry if I end up butchering your name, but your name is Varun Tamar? I'm sorry. And you want to know, am I ever going to get an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One? After Microsoft's press conference at this year's E3, I'm definitely interested in at least getting an Xbox One. Unfortunately, I am still kind of aggressively job hunting, so as soon as I save enough, I'll definitely be picking up an Xbox One. Whether or not I'll be using it to go online is another question, because I don't feel like paying for my online service like you don't have to with the PlayStation Network, but I'm definitely interested in getting one. The next 5 questions come from Deafening Giraffes, and you want to know, what is my current favorite Loot Crate figure? Undoubtedly, if you saw my top 10 favorite Loot Crate items of this year, then it has to go to the Superman Domo figure. Next question is, do I think Loot Crate will ever get better in their 3rd anniversary? The Loot Crate has a tendency to always up their previous set of Loot Crates, and I would absolutely say that this this 2-year anniversary definitely topped their 1-year anniversary. So I think it's a solid possibility that they could top their 2-year anniversary gift next year. Next question is, do I think Bethesda will ever announce Fallout 4, and will I play it? I've never been interested in Fallout, so even if they did announce a Fallout 4, I don't think I would play it. Next question is, what do I think of Daft Punk? Oh, definitely a big fan of Daft Punk. I think I've been a fan of theirs ever since I kind of first saw the, damn it, what the hell is it called? One More Time video during Toonami. I think since that point on, I've been hooked on ever since. The last question is, do I think J.J. Abrams will ruin the Star Wars franchise with lens flares? No, I just think the lens flares will give it a much more modern look, and I think that's something that these new Star Wars movies are going to need. The next 3 questions come from Gunnar Drake, and you want to know, will I ever do a Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain when it releases? No, Gunnar Drake, I will not do a Let's Play for Metal Gear Solid 5. When I play Metal Gear Solid 5 for the first time, I want to play it the way I always do, and that's just by myself and not have to worry about uploading it. And I'm sure some of you guys are going to play it anyway, so you don't have to watch me play it. The next question is, do I think that Kojima is done with Metal Gear Solid since he started on a different game? I won't believe that he's done with the Metal Gear Solid franchise until I hear an official announcement saying that he is done with Metal Gear and he's ending the franchise, because I really thought that's what we were going to get with Metal Gear Solid 4, but, you know, sadly that's not the case. But I really think he should walk away from the franchise, or at least have it be rebooted. This franchise has been going on since like the late 80s, and it really needs to come to an end. And, you know, I'm actually happy to see him do other projects. So as far as is he done with Metal Gear Solid, until I hear an official announcement from him, then it's safe to say that he is not quite done with the franchise yet. The next question is, do I think that the Call of Duty franchise will ever die out? No. The Call of Duty, it's too popular, it makes too much money every year, and as long as it's making money, chances of it dying are very slim to none. The next set of questions come from Mr. Firefly 246, and you wanted to know, do I think Crash Bandicoot, Spike Cooper, or Jack and Daxter will have a PlayStation 4 game? Yeah, any established PlayStation 4 titles, you know, it's safe to say that we'll see at least one rendition of them on these modern consoles. They'd be stupid not to do that. The next question is, what do we think of the Sly Cooper franchise in the upcoming movie? I'm actually not a really big Sly Cooper fan. I think it's a very fun stealth franchise. But in terms of the upcoming movie, I really think that it could be very successful. I mean, if they actually have like a good trailer for it and they premiere it in front of certain movies, then it'll definitely get the attention of some kids, and then kids will want to go see it, and then hopefully it'll be a very successful hit in the box office. Next question is, what do I think of PlayStation Now? I've seen PlayStation Now. I think it's kind of a stupid service. I mean, why do I have to pay a certain amount just to rent a game when I can just go out and buy a full copy at a much cheaper price? I just think it's kind of a waste of time. And, you know, as much of a Sony fan as I am, this is really not a service I'm going to be interested in. Your next question is, am I a Dragon Ball fan? If you mean like Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball GT, I'm interested in all things Dragon Ball, so yes. And next question is, if so, did I see the new Zen Overuse trailer? No, but I'll be sure to check it out after I'm done filming this, so thanks for the heads up. Next question is, if I could pre-order 5 next-gen PlayStation 4 games in 2015, what would they be? Let's see. The Order 18, I think 18 something something, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, I don't know. Those are the only 2 I can think of off the back of my head. I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch of games that are coming out next year that I'm not thinking about that they announced at E3, so yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Those 2 games are the only games I could think of right off the top of my back of my head. But if there's any more exclusive titles like, you know, that come out next year, then you can guarantee I would pre-order those games if I had a job, which hopefully I'll have at the time. Next question comes from Snowy Cougar 101, and you want to know, am I excited for Assassin's Creed Unity and Rogue? I'm definitely going to rent both of those games. I think it's a little bit excessive that they're releasing two platform Assassin's Creed games so close to each other, so yes, I do plan on playing both of them. Yes, I plan on reviewing both of them. Whether or not I'm going to buy them is another question. The next four questions come from JDS4696, and you want to know, am I excited about the Batman complete TV series finally coming to video? Oh, sure, yeah, it's something I really haven't had a chance to check out entirely, so, maybe if I have a good day to myself, I'll be able to buy that or rent it or get my hands on it somehow so I can watch it. The next question is, do I think there will be a Max Payne 4? Well, with how Max Payne 3 ended, they kind of closed off the Max Payne story. I don't think there will be a Max Payne 4. There could be, but I really doubt that this is the end of Max Payne. I think more than likely, we're more likely to see a reboot to the franchise than a sequel. Next question is, when do I think Resident Evil 7 will be announced? Well, I really thought it was going to be announced at this year's E3, but knowing how Capcom is with its franchises, it is possible we could see an announcement at this year's TGS show. For those of you that don't know, that's the Tokyo Game Show. And if not there, then I would expect an announcement at next year's E3 for sure. Next question is, do I think Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain will be released in the first quarter of 2015? There have been a number of speculating release dates. I've heard that one for sure, but I think it will be released either in the first quarter or the second quarter of next year for sure. And the last set of questions come from... Oh, sorry, we got a couple more. The next four questions come from Draven G, and he wants to know, do I think that movie critics are too harsh on slasher genre films? I don't think it's the fact that they're being too harsh. I just think that slasher films are kind of corny at this point in time, and that there are certain stereotypical things you can expect from slasher films, and if the movie doesn't have them or if they're not executed enough, then it is fair to give it some criticism. Next question is, do I think suspense and the slow burning effect are dying art form in terms of films? I don't think that it's a dying art form. I just think that it's not really being used as much as it could be or as effectively as we've seen in previous films in the past. Your next question is, what are my thoughts on the original Halloween film? I was never a really big Halloween fan in general. I was much more of a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. So in terms of the original film, it's corny when you look back at it. I mean, you've got to forgive some of its corniness, but I don't think that movie really holds up to today. Your next question is, do I prefer 80s or 90s? That's an interesting one. Definitely 80s. Michael Jackson was at his prime. I mean, everything was so much more colorful. World really wasn't quite as bad as it is now. And heck, if I was born in the 80s, then heck, I'd be possibly in my late 20s to early 30s, and I think that would be a solid age for me now. And the last three questions come from Markman, and you want to know, should Xbox stay doing numbers with their consoles like the original Xbox being the Xbox One and then Xbox 360 and then call the Xbox 2 with the newest one being the Xbox 3? I don't really know how these consoles choose their names. I mean, PlayStation keeps it simple. You got PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. If they keep mixing these names, it just gets confusing. I mean, who knows? Remember all the confusion there was when there was the Wii and then the Wii U? Just number your consoles and keep it simple. Jeez. The next question is, when I'm in my house, do I like to be cold or hot, and does it play an effect during the seasons? I guess if it's cold outside, then I want to be hot. If it's hot outside, I'd like it to be cooler in my house, so I kind of would like a balance between the two depending on the seasons. And the last question is, what do I think the purpose of life is? I don't know. No one really knows the answer to that question. All I know is what I want my purpose in life to be, and that is to have some type of effect on the gaming community and hopefully be an example to others that never giving up is always the way to go. And with that, those are all the questions that you guys sent in for this particular episode. I'd like to thank all of you guys for your great set of questions. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track me my future episodes of people's questions. And make sure if you have any questions for next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below and make sure you get them into me before next Wednesday. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.